Okay, folks, if you haven't watched my other two videos about the Heche car crash, go and watch those two videos first before you watch this one, because you are not going to grasp the magnitude of what I'm showing and how important this is. So, like I said, it's all connected to Donald Trump and Trump getting his head wound on August 4th next year. Next year is the final year of my August 4th prediction of Donald Trump getting his head wound, and he survives the head wound. Okay? And I told you that he might go into a coma and come back to life 3 or 4 days later on 8/7 or 8/8, right? And here's some new information that's come out. So like I said, I've been telling everybody for years that Trump probably will go into a coma and come back to life. And look, Heche is now in a coma. You see what I'm saying? And you know how I put all the other connections, if you watch my other two videos about this crash, and then when you see this, you see how it all lines up perfectly. And Trump, he lives in the state of Florida, and Florida looks like a gun, and it also looks exactly like Trump's hair. Okay? So if you put this Florida on top of Trump's head, it would look just like his hair. And the reason I'm showing you this, okay, because see, Trump is not going to get his head wound in Florida. He's going to get it in Ohio. Okay? On August 4th, Trump gets the head wound. And it just so happens Heche is born in Ohio. Okay? Which, of course, I've been showing you in the last two videos, but I just want to make you understand that how many connections do you have to have? And look, her father was named Donald. And his middle name was J. Just like Trump, his middle name is J. I mean, a middle initial, I'm sorry. Trump's name is John. And she was born on May 25th. And May 25th is the 145th day of the year. And on leap year, it's the 146th day of the year. And both these numbers connect to Trump because Trump's birthday, because Trump is born on 6/14, and remember, on leap year, her birthday is the 146th day of the year, so it's 14/6. And also, if you start from the first of the year and go up to June 14th, it's 5 months, 14 days into the year. 5/14, which is the backwards of 14/5, which is the 145th day of the year, her birthday. So I'm just, showing you all the connections that connects to Trump. But mainly it's about the fact that she's born in Ohio and Trump's going to get his head wound in Ohio. And Heche, the car crash was August 5th, one day after August 4th. And I told you that August 4th on leap year is August 5th. I mean, it lands on August 5th day. Okay, August 5th is the 217th day of the year, and August 4th is the 216th day of the year, and on leap year, August 4th is the 217th day of the year. I know this is confusing, but if you're paying attention, you'll understand. But anyway, that's why it all connects to each other. The fact that it happened August 5th, which is one day after August 4th, but, it's, like I said, it's predictive programming. And the fact that now she's in a coma, okay, which I told you Trump would probably be in a coma and come back to life after he gets his head wound on August 4th, come back to life on August 7th or August 8th. Most likely August 8th because of the 88 connection, because Trump equals 88, and that Back to the Future movie all about the 88, which connects to Trump, because Biff Tannen was based on Trump. And I'm sure some of you spotted this when I first showed this image. I just thought it was interesting that this, that they use this photo because it has to do with the Lincoln Motor Company. Lincoln was assassinated. You see, and I told you Trump's going to get his head wound, so we don't know what this head wound is going to entail. All right. And notice it's got the TM right there. TM equals 33. T is the 20th letter. M is the 13th letter. That's a code that they use. But also Elvis was born in Tupelo, Mississippi, and then he moved and died in Memphis, Tennessee. So he went from TM to MT because his tomb is empty because Elvis lives. Get it? And notice it is a target. You know, when you look through a scope of a gun, it looks like the target. And you think it's a coincidence that the name is Lincoln and Lincoln was assassinated? I mean, come on, man. That's their logo. And the woman who Anne Heche crashed her car into, you know, her house was supposedly totaled. Now the woman has over $100,000 raised. Okay, so now you understand how everything is connected. As if that woman didn't have insurance on her home. As if she's not going to be able to sue Anne Heche. What is this GoFundMe stuff, you know? Anyway, and who is this person? Let's look at this person. So here's another person with 1,000 faces. So, by the way, I'll tell you in a minute. So is this the Lynn Michelle or is this Lynn Michelle? The one, you know, who lost her house. I tried to do a side by side. So they're saying that this is the woman who owns the house, and this is Anne Heche, right? I mean, can you believe this? I mean, like, can you tell the difference between these two? I mean, you see how they're probably all related somehow. I told you, folks, they use people who are related to each other, you know. And you remember I showed this person who was killed by Alec Baldwin, you know, in that accidental gun shooting. And look, I connected it, all three of them, you know, and I told you they all have Goldilocks, you know. Trump is golden hair, you know. And remember, they had her completely covered. Her face and everything was covered when they took her out of the car.
But they did manage to get the woman who lived in the house out. A GoFundMe page has been set up to help Lynn Michelle, who lost everything.
And by the way, that GoFundMe is over $100,000 now. That's not what it is. This was from a couple of days ago when I took this image. But see, this is Lynn Michelle. It's not Anne Heche, even though it looks like Anne Heche. And remember, she got into a minor accident that same day before she had the major accident where she ran into the house. She ran into a garage in the alley.
Residents there say a security guard tried to coax her out of her car, but she sped away. TMZ reported what appears to be a bottle of alcohol was seen in her car at the complex. Several residents say they heard the commotion.
I live right up here on the corner, and I heard somebody driving like a maniac down here.
Let's look at this dude's name real quick. His name is Alex Trebek. He sounds like Alex Trebek. Can you believe this?
Almost hits a pedestrian in Venice. Another TMZ video shows her hitting a garage door at Lincoln Place Apartments, which is about 2 blocks from the crash site.
You see that? Another Lincoln connection. You see what I'm saying? This is ridiculous, you know, and I showed this also in my other videos, but I'm just saying it's just beyond unbelievable, right? Lincoln gets assassinated. Anyway, remember, this was the site of the first accident she got into that day. Look, here's that Lynn Michelle, the homeowner. Now it looks totally different again. You see how I told you they have 1,000 faces? And you know what it is, right? It's one of those, you know, I don't want to say it. But you see all the bushes in the background? Do you get what I'm saying? It surrounds itself with bushes, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, look at that. Isn't that sweet? I'm pretty sure that that person's very close to this person. Very close, if you know what I mean. You know, close like these two used to be. Anne Heche and Ellen DeGeneres. DeGeneres. Okay, whatever.
David's focus was on getting everyone out, including the woman in the house, mere feet away from injury or worse.
And she wasn't sure what exactly was happening, but she knew she wanted to get her animals out.
Interesting looking character this guy is. Look at his name. Man Pearl. Oh man, I'm pretty sure he does love the man pearls. Listen carefully.
An impossible decision for David.
I was convinced she was 100% passed away.
It took dozens of firefighters and special equipment, but Heche survived.
You see that? She's fully covered in the sheet. Can't even see her face.
Convinced she was 100% passed away.
And he said that she's dead. I mean, he thought she was dead. And look, she breaks out of the sheet like a resurrection. You know what I mean?
Firefighters and special equipment, but Heche survived. Police collected a blood sample to test whether...
And now they're saying she's in a coma. I mean, you see what I'm saying? She looks pretty strong right there.
Dozens of firefighters and special equipment, but Heche survived. Police collected a blood sample to test whether she was drinking. Heche survived. Police collected a blood sample to test whether she was drinking or on drugs during the crash. The woman in the home did not need medical attention, but she needs just about everything else.
So remember, folks, this happened on August 5th, a day after August 4th, okay? I told you, it's predictive programming for Trump's head wound on August 4th next year. And I told you Trump goes into a coma or something like that, you know, and comes back 3 or 4 days later, either on 8/7 or 8/8. And this person goes into a coma, okay? And look, it looks like it's dead and it resurrects. All right. I mean, do you understand how it all connects? And I told you Trump gets his head wound in Ohio, and she's born in Ohio. This Anne Heche. I mean, come on, man. How many, connections do you need?
It took dozens of firefighters and special equipment, but Heche
and she resurrects.
Police collected a blood sample to test whether she was drinking or
and now
on
she's in a coma. I just have one more thing to show you. And that's why I said that this was an interesting backdrop behind her, because it has the Lincoln connection, a target, like a scope through a gun, you're looking through a scope on a gun. And remember, she ran into, the first place she hit was Lincoln, the first accident. And it just so happens Elvis bought a Lincoln on August 4th, 1956. You see that? And it just so happens they have pictures of this. Now, take a look. Remember, he's wearing a black shirt. August 4th, Lincoln. Watch what I show you in the image. So here's that image again. August 4th, same date, same black shirt. Look at the image behind Elvis. What in the hell? Look, it's got the Dawn for Donald behind him. You see that? I wonder what the APTS stands for. Appointment. He's got an appointment for the head wound. I'm just saying, folks, just to, think about what I'm showing you, August 4th, Lincoln, and the Dawn is right behind him. Anyway, she's probably locked up in some rehab somewhere or something. in Hawaii or something. Anyway, folks, end of video.